Hello there, Qckslvrslash, and today I have a video for you in the Tier 9 German cruiser, the Roon. And the ship and I took a while to get kind of acquainted. Having those two guns on the rear, despite my love of the Königsberg, at Tier 9 can definitely hurt you, and it is a big cruiser, so you become an easy target if you put yourself in a bad position. That said, she's got some pretty good armor, good rate of fire, and the hydroacoustic is not to be underestimated if you're an enemy destroyer thinking you can sneak up on this thing. So you can say, C, I am playing on Sea of Fortune, Domination mode, along with Flying Goomba, who's in his Iowa. We're big as far as the game is concerned, kind of 4 Tier 9s it looks like each team. Rest are primarily Tier 8s with a couple Tier 7s filling in the gap. And him and I decide we're going to head over towards A. I'm planning on going wide because the Roon is much better at range. You can see it even has a spotting plane. So that kind of speaks to the style of play to maximize the Roon. You've got torpedoes if you ever do end up in close that are pretty effective. Kind of what you expect out of a German cruiser. But you don't end up using them a whole lot, in all honesty. And, well, things aren't looking great. As Goomba and I head over towards A, someone's already capping on an enemy team, easily a destroyer, but our entire team has pretty much decided that they're going to B and C. Which, you know, I get it. Some people start turning that way and they all want to go, but I would have loved if one of the destroyers had stayed over with us. Instead it's just myself, this Bismarck, and then Flying Goomba, and the Bismarck is, well, honestly gonna get obliterated. It's kind of driving into an area all alone, doesn't really have any outs, and all the enemy battleships are right down there to the south. So I have the enemy Bismarck lined up for, Tirpitz lined up for a second, fire off a volley of HE, and that's when I spot the Yugamo. And here's kind of where I decide what I'm doing. I pop my hydroacoustic, I'm killing this Yugamo. Even if it costs me some of my hit points, getting rid of the destroyer on this side of the map, to me is crucial. Because it removes the vision from the enemy team, the ability for the enemy team to just hide in smoke, and generally removes the threat of torpedoes. Yes, you'll still have them, but cruisers tend to top out at 10-kilometer torpedoes, so it's just something you don't have to think about as much. And you can see, even at 5.4 kilometers, inside my radar, or my hydroacoustic, and these shells are going to quickly finish them off. So I've got my first kill, about 16,000 damage, and I've been lucky. I haven't taken too much damage for committing the way I did. Get some shots off at that Otago, just over the hill, a couple thousand damage, and I'm turning around. As I went in at the Yugamo, I'd already told Goomba, turn around, get out. We are outnumbered, and you can see 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 ships all in the vicinity of A, including that dead destroyer. So this was not a fight 3 of us were going to win. That said, our entire team has gone into C, taken it. Their team's abandoned it because they're not getting in there, and things are looking pretty good. I've gotten Otago, they're pretty much nose on, so I'm using some HE, hoping for that fire, which the Roon actually does very well. Get a fire with the first volley, and man, I wish I had AP loaded there because they gave me a big flat old broadside. I switch over. Are they going to keep driving in a straight line is the question. And the magical answer appears to be yes. Yes, they did. Get a Citadel, 3 penetrating hits, 12,000 damage, basically knocking that Otago down to half health. And then I've got a Miyoko side on. So I switch targets. You can see me looking around a lot. I'm just trying to make sure I don't drive into an island, do something stupid, because I am prone to that sometimes. This Miyoko's continuing to drive side on. I'm a little flat probably to these enemy ships, but I'm trying to open range. Get a Citadel. They're still driving in a straight line. These shells should finish them off. Citadel definitely guarantees that. And I'm at 2 kills, 55,000 damage, and 5 minutes in. So pretty good start to this game for me, but you know, our team is still all busy congregating over at C. They haven't started a push into B, and the enemy team's kind of consolidated 2 caps. They've gotten one of our battleships in the Bismarck, who kind of just sat where I said he was going to get obliterated. And, well, things are looking alright for us. Fire some shells at this Atago. I don't really know what he was thinking backing up like that. And unfortunately, only 1 hits. And it's this point that Goomba and I are kind of deciding, what do we do? We've got this Gneiss now. It's going to become our primary target. I can't really afford to sit as side-on as I am, so I decided to turn out. I'm going to open up and get behind Flying Goomba and the Iowa. Hopefully a closer target proves a little tastier than a cruiser at range. But that said, I'm doing quite well health-wise. I'm sitting about 80%, I'd say. About to have a repair party come up. So I'm in a good spot. But it doesn't take much at this tier for a battleship to change your situation in a hurry. Now you can see I'm using HE on this Gneiss now. I probably could have been firing AP after that initial fire, but I was liking the damage hits I was getting. I kind of kept expecting him to turn in at me, so I didn't use the best ammo. And with him hidden behind the island, and now dead because Goomba hit him with a shell, focus switches over to the Iowa. And things are actually really looking up. Our team finally has their act together. You can see the destroyers pushing in, a couple battleships supporting, the rest are out on a flank harassing these guys. And the team that has stuck around A isn't grouped up. As you can see, just a quick look, they've got the Iowa here about 11k. The next one back is the Tirpitz at almost 20k, which Tirpitz just isn't going to hit things reliably. And unfortunately, some miscommunication here means Goomba and I are about to exchange some paint. And potentially really risky to me because I'm really flat to that Iowa. I see the shells come out. Fingers crossed. And he underestimated. I've got my propulsion acceleration fitted to this thing, so I was back up to speed pretty quickly, and it definitely saved me in that situation. And at this point, we decide, let's push in. That Iowa's pretty much alone. Sure, he's got a Baltimore for support, but the Baltimore, it's not going to do a lot. And there's a cruiser with us now. We've got some support. And okay, there is an Atago over there as well. And you can see now I'm using AP against a side-on battleship, and I'm getting good hits. The last one was 6,000. That one combines for almost another 6,000. And one more hit like that, this Iowa's dead. So next target, easy pick, guns are loaded, line up on the Atago. Fire them off. I'm looking around just to make sure nothing's going to surprise me. I get a Citadel, 11 or 12,000 damage out of that. Next volley out should have them finished, especially with the damage my teammates just did. Pick up another kill. I'm up to 4. And I get that Kraken unleashed. 118,000 damage so far. And it's a pretty full health Baltimore, who... The Baltimore is a good ship, but it is not a good ship sitting in open water. It really needs to be able to keep its armor pointed straight at the enemy to deflect shells. Side on like this, it is just going to eat damage. And boy does he from Goomba. And I finish him off, get the Kraken unleashed and the kill. 133,000 damage, and this is all but wrapped up for our team. But part of me goes, I'm feeling greedy tonight, and yesterday I was on fire. All my games were going well. I think our win rate was up in the 70 or 80% bracket, and that kind of confidence just spires you on and makes you push. And I get a little complacent here. I'd had Skype up on another window and was kind of looking at it, maybe not paying as much attention as I thought. I kind of figured that Tirpitz was just going to sit still. And you're going to see here, he definitely doesn't. He comes out. I go, oh crap. And I make a bit of a miscue. I turn out to get those rear guns on, show him a flatter side of my ship. I get really lucky there. I did not deserve to stay alive, but I did. And maybe that's why yesterday went good. Or went well. The RNG gods were just smiling on me. Picked up the Confederate as I hit him, high caliber, finish him off, and get the 6th kill. Man, this game felt great. 156,000 damage, 6 kills. Between Goomba and I, we didn't capture it, but we kept the force on this side of the map so preoccupied with us that the enemies ended up just running out of time. Anyways, 493,000 credits, Confederate, high caliber, Kraken, first strike, 154,691 damage, 6 kills, and just a great game. I had a lot of fun. Like I said, last night I felt like I was on fire, and the games just proved it. Unlike today where I feel I can't do anything right and just seem to explode in the first 30 seconds of a match before really doing anything. But on this one, I was top of my game, 2303 base experience, top of the team. You can see Goomba's pretty high on the team as well. And we just played passively. You know, I got that destroyer and then we just pulled back. We let them chase us across that cap. We didn't have to get it. Our team managed to get Charlie and we had a cap advantage. So we just had to stay alive and do as much damage as possible for as long as possible and just occupy those enemy players. And that's what you do when a team lemming trains one direction. And when you look at my damage, this is one of those games where I did a lot of damage to a lot of different targets, and that's really how I hit that total. And, you know, sometimes you get the Kraken and you've got a bunch of kills where you did a couple hundred damage, but on this one, even just looking at the screen there, the lowest amount of damage to any of my kills looks like 13,421. So really happy with that performance. Did those 6 damage points to Goomba when I ran into him, and just felt it was a good game. And it paid off in the end. Walking away with 363,000 credits, 5,800 experience on the ship, and 15,000 points for the captain, who finally has concealment. It's a module that I just love having on my tier crane cruisers, a captain skill. And it was just really nice to finally have that skill on this guy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. If you did, consider giving it a thumbs up or subscribing to the channel. I'm fighting to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the month. That's like my kind of New Year's resolution and goal I set for myself. And as always, I'm Qckslvrslash. I'm going to have another one for you guys tomorrow.